All right, and welcome back. This is the first conversation of the day. We are delving into matters state of the nation, sounding off on the latest current affairs. So we are also inviting you back at home to let us know what you think on some of the trending current affairs in matters politics and literally the Kenyan landscape at large. The hashtag is Y in the morning and at Y254 channel _ on the gram. Our personal minds is a brand Sako 101, but also we're asking you a question on matters unemployment in the country. That's the question. That's the conversation we had last week towards 9 to 10 a.m. and we're having a part 2 of it at 9 again to 10 a.m. We are asking you, je, my youth wanafaa kujiokoa aje kwa hii employment crisis, employment drought. We'd like to hear from you because we love it each and every time you send us feedback on our social. I'll be sampling it towards the tail end. But right up is State of the Nation, and I bring Joy Love in studio by, he's a youth leader and plus so many other things he does as well. That is Clinton Wafula, and he's also president of TNSA. You're telling me it's an organization that's in charge of
the Trans-Nzoia Students Association, that is tertiary students.
Right, yeah. So it's basically matters young people and molding them into leadership, yeah?
Exactly.
All right, great to be here. So let's delve straight up into the current affairs. The impeachment happened, yeah? In fact, we are forgetting that we were just, trying to, hopefully it goes on well for the person who is being impeached, but
yeah, sure.
Good for them or bad for them, it didn't work out in their favor, yeah? But they're out of office. And then the swearing in has already happened. We now have a new deputy president. Like, I don't know, Kenyans are not feeling it. It should be felt that we have a new deputy president. This is something new, yeah? And it's breaking news, of course, yeah? But then the question is, what's going to change? Riggy is out of office. Now we have Abrake, or Nix, according to how people are trying to find a new nickname for him. Is anything going to change in terms of even the economy, the issues that are still festering in the country? And from your observation, do you believe that something will possibly change, or?
Thank you, Brian, for this opportunity. I would like to say that personally, out of the analysis, I don't really anticipate for anything else to change. Because Kenyans must be keen when it comes to this swearing in wordings. When the deputy president, that is Kindiki, was being sworn in, the wordings I heard him say was he that is going to be submissive and subjective to the president.
And loyal, in fact, it's
and
loyalty.
Yeah, highlight loyalty to the president. Yes. But when I analyze the Kenyan Constitution that was amended in the year 2010 in this country, I don't see anywhere where the deputy president must subject his loyalty and hard work to the president. Unlike in the Article 153 of the Kenyan Constitution, we have that collective responsibility. Where now the deputy president now must be able to work out collectively with the president. But when he's being sworn in, he's not subjecting his loyalty to the people of Kenya, not to the Constitution. So how do you anticipate anything else to change?
Yeah. So it's misplaced loyalty. It should be loyalty to Kenyans, not
loyalty to Kenyans, but not to the president. Yes.
Do you believe that's what led to the ouster of now former DP?
Yeah, exactly. For example, I'll tackle on the gross misconduct that he was impeached on about him not being loyal to the cabinet. But I would like to say, if the cabinet he was part of the cabinet, right? The deputy president is part of the cabinet. So if I go to that cabinet and I listen to what and the jurisdictions that they want to put across. And personally, I feel like this is not healthy or important to the people of Kenya. Should I keep quiet? So when the deputy came on air in a national TV and said that this and that is happening within the cabinet, that is when they said that he's trying to do what? He's trying to run away from his duties. So should we as leaders, as young leaders, should we be subjected to loyalty of the people or to the loyalty of the executive? So I don't anticipate that to be extremely of good conduct, but I think the former deputy president, that is Riggy Gachagua, he tried to tell the Kenyans. But because...
Do you believe he was telling the truth? Because he branded himself as a truthful man. And in fact, when he was being discharged out of office, he said The only thing he's ever done to the president is tell him the truth. And
you know,
that, alienated him because they expected he'd be silent and loyal and it's A, do A, it's B, do B. But then for him, he says it as it is, and that has landed him in trouble.
Truth hurts. And as the Swahili saying goes by, umeivalia ngozi ya kondoo lakini ndani yako ni mbwa mwitu.
Yeah.
So William Ruto never wanted that to be seen. Because even if you got into the arms of the government, the executive, legislature, and the judiciary,
right,
we've been in position, things have been courted and placed under his arm. So once you do anything wrong, you're curbed. Once you say something contrary to what he wants, you're curbed.
Yeah.
So
and that shows that you're not loyal.
Yeah.
Or it shows you're exposing.
Yeah, and now
Why should not be exposed?
Yeah,
because you're supposed to be clothing and filtering,
exactly,
your boss.
And now that becomes a paradox. I'm being impeached because I'm loyal to the country,
right,
but not loyal to the president. So,
but I believe loyalty here goes both ways, anyways. But since it's politics, I think it's politics. Hapo tunaweza sema it's politics, ndio?
Yeah, in politics you have to marinate your name. You have to make sure that your name does not go anguished. So at the end of the day, I'll say loyalty shouldn't be to the president as much as it's a two-way thing. Yes, there is loyalty, but if I'm in position to tell you that, Mr. President, this is not working right, yeah, this thing that has been passed in the cabinet, I think we should check on that. And yet the head is not in position to collaborate. What will happen, Mr. Brian? Because you as an individual, you also, the deputy president office is a big office.
Yeah.
It's a large office that entails almost 50% of what happens in the passage of all laws and jurisdictions in the president's office.
Yes.
So once Riggy saw that this thing might lead me into danger, therefore he came out and speak to the Kenyans. But the problem was now the same constitution that we are supposed to be well familiarized with is the same constitution that is eating us. Yeah.
The president said, before I introduce our next guest as well, or let me introduce him. Yeah? We're also being joined live in the studio by Philip Onyango. He's a journalist, activist, and a social media influencer. Karibu sana. Sure. Philip here. So we are just catching up with State of the Nation. I'll come to you in just a bit. The president said he views Mr. Kindiki, Professor Kindiki, as a committed and a dedicated man who has a perfect resume that fits that docket. And then he added that he was almost becoming a lonely voice in the forums where he's supposed to be backed up by, a subordinate, but then that was not the case. But then on the other side, I think I saw a reaction from Millie Odhiambo, who said that she feels like if Riggy would have tamed his tongue, probably he wouldn't have ended up where he is. But then the things that he's been constantly saying, some of them are outrightly true. You can really see through the lies that this is exactly what's happening on the ground. In fact, the issue of the Gen Z, at some point they try to say, it was him who funded, right? Yeah. And in fact, he was investigated, I think, partially. And they urged Kithure Kindiki now, his reply. It's funny how, but then also people are questioning the speed at which the impeachment happened really fast. It's just extraordinary. I don't know, what did you observe from that?
Let us check on this. Let us get back to the nominations of UDA deputy presidentship. Kithure Kindiki was the person who was supposed to be the deputy president by then. But I'll wonder why Riggy Gachagua came in the picture. There's a saying that says, when you feed a madman with a one-day food, this mad person will not remember you. Because tomorrow this person needs the same food. So Riggy Gachagua came in as a picture to remove Ruto from that shame of lack. So Kindiki to come in the picture that fast, even you can think, today the court says that now Kindiki can be sworn in. But KICC, the preparation started a day even before the court made the decision.
Yeah.
So the rate at which this thing was being pushed out, it was really, we want to do away with him. And Kindiki was the replacement because he was the first candidate. Even the people within the UDA party wanted him. So Riggy to come in, he was to be used as a puppet.
Okay.
So it was...
And he in fact, he didn't obey the puppetry rules. So
exactly.
What
so he did not obey the puppetry rules.
Okay.
Why after 2.5 years? The Constitution says once you serve for 2.5 years, that's like a term.
Yeah.
So he has been a president for 1 term.
Good Lord. That's wild. That's wild. Let me get to you, Philip. Let me engage with you on this. When you observed the swearing in that happened at KICC, and then before that, the whole impeachment process, and in fact, we saw the deputy president reacting, former. You know, right now we must add former. There's that confusion, kidogo. We're trying to adapt anyways, but you know, you can also feel like also Kenyans are not like, you know, it's a deputy president, it's a new one. People are not that excited about it, but anyways, we've moved on because we have issues that are still bothering the citizens of the nation. When you look at that whole impeachment process, do you believe it had an end goal? Like we knew it's going, like the script exactly played the way it was designed to play in the courts, you know? If you were to observe it in that angle. Do you believe so?
According to me, is a no. Let's of all first go back during 2022.
Yeah.
When Ruto was during his run, he knew Gachagua very well, more than us. That's the reason why he chose him, because he knew he was the best to run as this candidate. Running mate, I mean.
Yeah.
And it is so shameful how our MPs rushed things on Parliament. We remember that time during the motion, they even went past midnight at the House in the Parliament.
Yeah.
Just because of the impeachment motion.
And they had 60 days to do that.
60 days. And imagine, we have serious businesses. People are crying outside here. They can't even be there. Allow me to use the example, person like Oscar Sudi has never been there. But that day he was there and he went very early in the morning. Right now, Kenyans are crying about issues like SHA. This thing, people are crying on the villages. Cancer patients are dying. Women who are giving birth today have no option. We have like this new funding model, comrades.
Yeah.
Comrade cannot go to school because hakuna pesa, to be sincerely speaking.
Yeah.
There are serious businesses that these MPs should be discussing in the House. Right. We never elected them to go and impeach Gachagua. Why don't they, that energy, they are focusing so much on the impeachment issues. Just imagine, wange focus kwa vitu kama development. Maslahi ya wananchi, because they went there to represent us. When we went to the street, allow me to use the example.
Yeah.
Did you ever had any place where the Gen Zs cried that we want Gachagua out? No. But people are crying, we want Ruto out. And when we said Ruto, we meant him and Gachagua, all of them. When they are saying that Gachagua is a corrupt man, I cannot, if you are my friend and you are a thief, you are my friend, I am a thief. We are both thieves. It does not mean now Ruto is an angel when Gachagua is a thief. Both of these people are both corrupt. And Ruto is much more worse than Gachagua. Now they're coming with a picture.
Station ni ya nani? Station. Anyways, I have to issue a disclaimer because this is a government station.
Sorry.
Opinions expressed in this conversation are solely best for the characters involved in this conversation and do not represent KBC or Y254 or myself, but of individual characters. All right, we can proceed now. Yeah.
Sorry. I withdraw my statement.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, and then what I was saying, okay, what I'm saying is this. We elected these people to be our representatives. When we were electing them, we were never expecting these things. It's only 2 years. And imagine how many times people have been crying on the street. How many times the young men and women, young boys and girls have died, and nothing has been done. Nobody is even talking about those issues at the Parliament. Yet they are saying that they are our representatives. They are forgetting that it is us who woke up at as early as 3 in the morning when we were going for elections, because we wanted people to represent us. They have, right now they take it as if now they are the owners of the country. They are at work. We have employed them. They are telling us that we can do self-employment. Yes, that is very okay. Because even when you're a leader, you can't employ everybody. But remember, when you create a favorable environment for business businesses, men and women, a good favorable environment for Kenyans, nobody will be crying. We are trying our best to do businesses. Right. But remember, they are increasing taxes day in, day out.
Yes.
We are crying and nothing is being done about that. Now tell me, how does impeaching Gachagua and the things that people are crying about, how does that help us? For 2 good years, it is now that he has realized that Gachagua was bad. And then, another thing, how sure are we that when Kindiki is now the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, things are going to be sorted? On 25th, that is a memorial day that we will live to remember in this country. Boys, people went to the streets to demonstrate against the Finance Bill Act 2023-2024.
Yeah.
Right now, it was passed. And people who died, nobody, police shot at people, nobody has been held accountable. And remember, by that time, our now sitting Deputy President was in charge of the security affairs. He never responded, he never answered. And yet now, he has been improved. Now he is on a higher level seat.
In fact, he was the interior.
Yeah.
He was the one answerable to.
Yeah, but did he do anything? No.
Yeah.
He is the one telling us to go with the evidence, to tell them, if we know people. These things were on the screen.
Right. Okay. All right, now, I want us to shift to now the femicide cases, because when you look at what's happening in the country, and I think off the air in my intro, I was trying to share with my co-host that these cases are really shocking. What happened on Langata Road over the weekend, they just found missing disintegrated body parts. But then yesterday in the religious address that the president was on, he said he's calling on, I don't know who he's calling upon, but he's calling on people to stop killing women. But then it comes again as a backdrop of the abductions. Borrowing from sentiments shared by Martha Karua, she said there's a dedicated and delegated police terror squad that's based at Olepolos and at Karen, that's abducting and torturing Kenyans. It's a police terror squad. But then when the president stood up, he said he's calling upon, who he's calling upon to stop femicides and this abduction. So when you observe that, who is he calling upon? Is he calling upon the police, who he's also in charge, or he's calling upon Kenyans who are perpetrating these abductions from your observation? Who should be held accountable, the police or the Kenyans?
The wolf is in charge of the sheep. So you don't expect the wolf to call upon a lion to come and feed on the same meal that is keeping the wolf to live. Because if he was systematic and very factual, he could have told us of any sources, because as a president, we expect you to be well conversant with what is happening in the nation. The deputy president, per se to say, who is now, has been sworn in, was in charge of security, as my colleague has said here. And that is interior security. So why is it that he didn't have the information for that? Then when you're coming to, I cannot come to you without a basis of an argument. I have to speak out clarity to showcase what I'm saying. Right. Because when he tells us that I'm calling someone, I'm calling those who are doing this, that is lack of information. Lack of information. And if you lack information, definitely, and you're in charge, and you're in charge of the nation, definitely you know what is going on. Why did he counterattack what Martha Karua said? Like, if this matter of abduction, it started long ago. Yeah, we've seen it with even the likes of activists like Kina Morara.
And Aoko, who is currently missing as well.
And Aoko is missing. So what does he have to say about that? And these people who are being abducted, I'll basically talk about abduction. If you speak anything contrary about what he wants or what he anticipates, definitely you'll go missing. then who is doing that?
There's been and there's been a lot of explosive and riveting, details that are being tweeted. In fact, from AOCOS, from the Adani deal, there's even a case about Boeing. The Schiff and Shaft, they're saying it's a money laundering scheme. Even the funding model, they're saying, I don't know, it's an IMF funding model. I don't know if you heard it yet.
Yeah.
So very scandalous things that are happening behind the scenes, but if you share them online, you end up in, Morara Kebaso's case or AOCOS situation, or Boniface Mwangi, who's been arrested constantly.
So where is the freedom of this nation? I'll get back to the ancient days of the late Idi Amin Dada. Idi Amin Dada told the Ugandans that yes, you have freedom of speech, but I don't guarantee you freedom after your speech. That is what we are living in today. Because all these people who are undergoing all this mess, abductions and stuff, being even beaten up, like for the case of Morara. These are people who are coming up with the clarity to the limelight of what we never knew. So the fact that the president of Kenya is not highlighting those aspects with clear information, that gives us a question mark. And for me, I'll say the state knows.
Who is conducting these abductions?
Yeah, the state knows.
And the femicides,
Yeah, the state knows. Because you can't go against the state. And the state has its own people, however much. Because at the end of the day, there is something called a dark room in politics. If you put us in the limelight for a long time, we'll get you back to the dark room for you not to be seen. And a silent eye is a damp mind. So that's what they are doing to Kenyans, so that nobody else will come up and question. For the case of these killings, like for the one that happened in Langata, we have securities in this nation.
In fact, it's next to the barracks.
Exactly.
The barracks is 3 legs.
So if I can be killed next to the barracks, what if now when I'm 100 kilometers away from the barracks? So it means that even these things are being seen by these security officers. So how comes, and I'll dwell on that basis, the state does not know. So I'll get it back to the state. He should tell us clarity, so that it does not be like words of affirmation from me and they say I'm trying to insinuate things. The state should tell us, because the state is aware.
Right. Philip, it's interesting, Clinton's sentiments. It looks like when you say something right now, you're not safe. And even people on TikTok, I think TikTok is where people have been gathering a lot. It started with the X spaces, but then people moved to TikTok, So it looks like if you say something, in fact, if your video goes viral, while you're criticizing something that's a miss up there, you're likely to end up getting arrested. And then Martha Karua says they're using NIS. In fact, there's a place where they're saying, I don't know, there's a telco that's involved, And from the trending hashtags, a lot of people blamed Safaricom. They're saying, oh, why are they giving police our details, the back end, so that's how they're facilitating these unwarranted arrests and disappearances. So do you believe that we are in such a delicate and dangerous time where Article 37 is like being slashed off? In fact, we had George Ruku, if you remember him. He's a Mbeere Member of Parliament. In fact, right now, if you're found picketing and demonstrating at the CBD, you're automatically arrested. In fact, they said CBD is out of bounds for demonstrating as we speak. So if you imagine yourself there, then it's just a movie, But then do you believe that, the season and time you're in is like part of the freedoms we had as compared to the June-July season? We are running away too far from how it should be and observing the Constitution.
Okay, Kenya is an independent country. We are allowed to picket, we are allowed to demonstrate as long as it is peaceful. And remember, before us, there are people, many of them are not alive right now. They fought for the freedom that we are enjoying today. And we, as Kenyans, we won't allow our own people that we have elected, to take that right away from us. Right now, it is like we are being recolonized again by our own brothers and sisters.
I saw Larry Madowo tweet, what in the Moi era is going on. That's Larry Madowo's tweet, I don't know if you saw that. Do we believe we are almost there? Or we're even there?
We are there already.
We
are there. Because there are some things that even if you just sit down, I really wonder how these people wanafanya vitu vyao. And allow me use an example before I forget.
Okay.
The truthful man himself, Mr. Riggy Gachagua, is now unemployed, one of us. He said, Kenya is a state of shareholders. We have leaders who are learned. They have brains that can take this country to the next level. Right. And now imagine the kind of meeting that these people are holding. Those top officials, they are not there discussing the development of this country. They are not discussing about how to fight corruption. They are not discussing about well-being of us. It is not a must that during election, during campaigns, you have to come and tell us what you're going to do. Because already the Constitution states, and the MPs knows their work, the senators knows, the president, the governor, all of them. Yeah. Imagine now they are seated, they are discussing about, they are claiming for their shares. Yeah. Claiming for their shares, not mine, not how that poor kid from a poor family should be getting free education. Not how that person from the village, mwenye anatarajia tu, he depends on agriculture, that produce from his farm, the way it itamsaidia in future. They are discussing about their shareholdings. Remember these people, to say, for example, today, the country will lockdown for even 5 good years. There are people who will sit comfortably at the comfort of their homes, fuel their cars, eat, pay rent, na kuna kitu itawasumbua akili. But now, when it comes to me, when it comes to you, and those other Kenyans, or those other citizens, where will they be? The problem that we have in this country is not that we are poor, but corruption. You see those bones that were found, that dead body, the bones that were found at Langata. You can find that there are even some police who made the vehicle that carried those bones, but then they took the bribe. They never knew what was inside the vehicle. They never bothered to check because that's what they knew. A police officer can take a bribe 100 meters away. Then the accident occurs. He never bothered to check the state of the vehicle. He never bothered to check if that driver has a legit driving license. And then we are coming here claiming that we are going for loans and whatever. No, this country, we are rich. We have minerals. We have weather that favors agriculture. Education system allow us to, tunaingiana na job market. They say that they're going to create job opportunities in this country. Have they told us how many people have been employed? The other day, when they were talking about
3,000, to be sent to Qatar.
Just imagine. Is it us Kenyans that we were born, now this country is a place whereby we are just going to look for job opportunities in other countries? Those people started from somewhere. And the same way we too in our country, when we have good leaders who focuses on the well-being of these countries, one day, one time, people from abroad will come to Kenya for look for job opportunities. Why don't we create those job opportunities in our countries? Why are we leaving? People are learned. You are learned to say you are a neurosurgeon. We're going to be at USA. While in Kenya,
mostly go to Germany and Australia.
Now imagine, you are learned here, your experience people enjoy out there. Then when somebody is sick in the country right now, tunaanza mchango, eti anapelekwa huko majo. While we should be having those people here helping us.
I want you to come back to the femicides because we are touching on femicide, but great explanation. Who do you think are the, let's say, perpetrators of these femicides? Are they orchestrated? Is it some sort of like an agenda? Because if you compare some of the things that have been happening in the past, most of them are, dramatic, for lack of a better word. So do you believe, are we heading to a point where maybe the state needs to do something about these femicide cases? Because some of the issues are really organic in a sense that it's a household issue. Two partners were in disagreement and then they decided to do the unthinkable to each other. There's one, I think, where I think it was a house help who murdered the other one. it resulted to a death. There's another one where a lover poisoned another one, and it poisoned 2 of the friends. They died, and literally that's, you know, another form of it. There's another one when one was beaten to death. So do you believe maybe we should also start now educating Kenyans on the value and the virtues of let's start being human to each other. Forgive your partner, you know, forgive your spouse. Consider having a conversation other than acting and reacting out of anger and, you know, making over-calculated, dangerous decisions that are leading to death and loss of life.
Okay, to help with that, I think many Kenyans, many people right now lack the information. What the government should do, according to me, let us start rallies, some camping, let them bring the people who are learned, they know things to do with the psychology. People don't know how to control their hunger, that's the problem.
Yeah, so you'd say it's a more of a psychological issue, yeah?
Yeah, that's the big problem right now. And we can have those free rallies, we can have some appointments, or we can have camp-based places whereby if you have a problem with your partner, just go there. You'll get that help.
Seek counsel, even from like a church setup, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, or religious leaders, yeah.
And not only, we should not only leave the work to specific people, even me and you.
Yeah.
Somebody may come to me telling me that, you know, my husband or my wife has done this, or my friend. Don't just take it as a random communication or just something mere because...
But you know, cheating is crazy. You know, most of those issues are like, you cheated and I decided to return the medicine back.
Cheating. If you are never meant to be, you won't be. Even if you kill that person, does it mean that now? No. So let's not take his view too personal. Somebody may have cheated, allow me to get there, but there may be many reasons. You may think that your partner has gone out cheating, but you are the main problem. Maybe they have come to you, wamekuweka chini of trying to have the communication. Kwanza siku hizi shida ni with the job class. Unapata somebody is getting out at 6, anarudi as late at even 12 at midnight. Let's say some of them are drunkards. They come as late as midnight. They don't have quality time with their partners. Right. What do we expect from these people? Yeah, so sometimes we create those problems.
Right.
Yeah, and nothing can't be solved. Everything has a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe, Clinton, that some of these issues are even triggered by the economical status and what's happening in the country? Because people are so enraged and so angry that if somebody triggers you, I remember during the Gen Z time, I happened to be among the people who are picketing, yeah? And the anger that crowd had, like anything small that you would have said that was contrary to what they were picketing against, you would have received all the pain, yeah? So if you were to compare what's happening in the country and some of these, you know, issues that are cropping up, do you believe it's because of, you know, these underlying issues like economical crises? There's somebody who was saying water shortage. The power outages, by the way, they're way up there. And somebody was saying literally it's an agenda to try and demoralize people, because when there's a power outage, you're busy saving for tomorrow, or you're busy charging your device to save it for tomorrow. When there's a water shortage, you're busy storing water for tomorrow. So there's no time to gather online to picket and bicker on the X platform. So do you believe maybe it's created by such conditions here?
I'll first tackle on the economical crisis. That one I'll term it as a state crisis. Because for these Gen Zs to get back into the streets, it's because of the economical imbalance that they were promised, that is not coming into fulfillment.
Right.
And I'll take back to the economical crisis and say this is the major reason as to why anything else is happening in this country. Because if you're not really delivering in line with giving out a very good economical graph for the nation, definitely we will have people now who will come out and try to remind you. But because you talked about the era of Moi and stuff, a student who has been taught about medicine should be a medical student. And definitely the student will bring out the effect of being a medicine student.
Yeah.
The president of Kenya is a student of Moi in politics. So we don't get anything different from that. So by
he's
then,
a product of his former
he's a
teacher.
product, of his former teacher.
Interesting.
So we don't anticipate to have anything different from those eras. Economical problem was amongst them during those times. until Kibaki came in, tried and worked on that. You remember, even the nation remembers him because of that, economical stability.
Right.
He worked on that. Then Uhuru came in, tried a little bit, but now look at this one now. We are now at limbo, obsolete distraction, so that all these aspects now comes. You know, we are human beings. Our mental awareness is in line with the defectiveness of the environment. So once I'm not in a stable environment to give me peace, you know, I'll inject all that stress to other things that are not even to things that are not even supposed to be done. Yeah. Like for instance, if I have my own issues, I've been taxed a lot of money. I remember with this kind of life we're living in Kenya. Then my friend has said that you're going out at 6, you're coming in late midnight. Then you realize that the money now you're getting is not going even to be safer again, or rather cater for the family once again. Then you get into the family. You see, now the economical stress has been able to pin me down. Then once I find something else, I'll be led.
You're triggered.
Yeah, I'm triggered by that. Yeah, I'm triggered by that. So in this country, the problem is the economy. Yeah. And the economy is being the economy being where it is today. It is because of the corruption that my friend has talked about. Right. And this corruption starts from above. Yeah. I'll say that when the school is not performing, you don't interdict the deputy principal. You remove the principal.
Okay. I think there's somebody also somewhere gave that example. But I want us to move because we are running out of time really fast. Yes. So speaking of trigger still, something that's likely to trigger another bad emotion is reintroduction of part of the facets of sections of the rejected 2024 finance bill. Yes. So it's set to make a comeback in the financial year 2024-2025. Yeah. And it's targeting to expand things like widening the tax bracket, which was initially highly contested and rejected by the Gen Zs. And that's according to Treasury Cabinet Secretary Mbadi. He says it's necessary to be reintroduced. But then when you look at the steps we've made from 25th and even before that, since the fires of revolution and the Gen Z protesting, we thought that some of these things are going to be adhered to. And it looks like as we make progress 2 steps ahead, we make 4 steps backwards, yeah? So do you believe this could warrant picketing and demonstrating?
This will worsen. This one will worsen. Because an economical student, an economist, will say, when it comes to taxation, I'm taxed in line with what I earn. So if you increase the taxation and you don't increase the salary, so how does that balance? That is simple arithmetic. So where we were on 25th, during the times of the Gen Zs, you know, Kenyans only need to be triggered. Because you can see even for now, you told me when you were starting this session, that they don't care even when Kindiki is being sworn in. Like, we are not feeling that. Because Kenyans don't care about them at all. Because they know that these people don't care about Kenyans. So this aspect of Mbadi coming in and telling us that we are going to put some of the brackets of the finance bill that was rejected, that is going to be carried forth to 2024, 2025, that is an aspect that is going to demolish the patience of Kenyans. And Kenyans will not hold that. Because right now, you know, a child, when a child is growing, needs to understand what happens so as to be able to adapt to the environment. You know, for now, the youths know if we protest, they will kill us. So they'll come with another coping ability. Like when you treat me malaria with a medicine today, then tomorrow the medicine cannot cure the disease. It means I've been coated around. So they'll come with that mentality, knowing that I'm going there to die for the nation. And trust me, because the state is ruthless, people will die. And the numbers will increase in the streets. Yeah. And this time round, because we know even the constitutional rights have been declined. It states that Kenyans can peacefully demonstrate. But you can oversee what happened the other time. We are not allowed to demonstrate. Why? Because we are against our fathers. So the fathers want to be fathers, children to be children. But when we maintain that bracket in within us, it's our generation that's going to suffer.
Yeah.
Because it's we who are undergoing that that stress and that pressure on us.
Yeah, absolutely. Philip, in that spirit and that proposition by CS Treasury, he says there's need to widen the tax bracket because we rely more on international lenders like the IMF, the World Bank, and that puts us into debt crisis. So as an alternative as well, in as much as it was the same thing that they said before, when the finance bill was being proposed, is hatutaki tukiwa na madeni za IMF na World Bank. Yeah. And in fact, you remember IMF issuing an apology. They did a whole sit-down video with their vice president or president here, issuing an apology saying, we are so sorry, you know, the Gen Zs died while they are demonstrating against the finance bill that was dubbed to be the IMF finance bill. Yeah. But then what exactly can we do so that we don't find ourselves heading there again? Lives were lost, and if at all they reintroduce it, it means that it was going to lead us to the same place that we were trying to move away from. But then now they've limited as well now the picketing and the demonstrating. If you found picketing in specific, in fact, was it at Pangani, the students who were picketing 2 weeks ago, they were arrested. They were picketing for help funds to be released. Yeah, they were arrested within 5 minutes. Everybody had disappeared and tear gassed. Yeah. So when you look at that and then reintroduction, I don't know, what do you foresee?
For now, me personally, let me tell you, many of us, many of the people right now who are against the government, we never chose to be activists, but they forced us to. One of them is the police brutality, and that is even the thing that keep us moving right now. And John Mbadi was one of the people, when he was in the opposition, said that the Finance Bill Act 2023-2024 was going to put the life of Kenyans much more harder. And then today, he's the one now saying that it is good for us. And allow me now, I'm not going to be like the man of Murima, but allow me to mention the names of my fellow Luo everywhere across the nation. People really celebrated in Nyanza when John Mbadi and Pio and I walingia kwa serikali. People celebrated. Right now, I want them to feel the pain. I want them to know that right now it is not about who is who. It is not about who is your son, who is your brother, who is your mother. Even if it is your father who is wrong, you correct them. And me personally, they may be, or maybe many people have not yet decided if they're going to come to the streets because they fear. But I want to call each and every Kenyan, each and every young man and woman, the wazee na vijana. Imagine the lives of like Rex Masai, Denzel, all those people who died fighting against this finance bill. If you sit back at home just because you are seeing like you can't change it, don't relax. You have to fight to change it. Imagine, it will be like their lives just vanished in vain. Many of them were the only people that their families depended on. Some of them were the only children of those families. Remember what they are feeling right now. It's like their death, silly and naive. And that's the reason why today I'm calling each and every Kenyan who is watching me right now or is listening to me. Remember, if it was your brother or your sister, alifanyiwa hivyo. Right now tusiangalie mambo za milango na nini. Hii kitu inaenda kutuumiza wote. And first of all, if the government knew that this Finance Act was good for us, then hata wangeitoa in the first place. Nakumbuka that day when Mr. President William Ruto alikuwa na kikao hapo State House. Some of the MPs wenye walikuwa nasema eti hiyo finance bill itapitishwa mpende msipende, and they called us criminals. That day Mr. President said that hiyo sasa tumesikia kilio cha wananchi, hatutaiweka tena. Some of them really clapped, and I was wondering like, what's wrong with these people? You called us criminals. And it is the criminals who were killed on the streets. The government, our officials, this country belongs to the people of Kenya. not specific people, not people like you. The country belongs to us. And remember, in 15 years to come, in 10 years to come, some of them who are alive today and on those top official seats will be older or they will be dead. It is the future of the coming generation we are fighting for. It is our future we are fighting for. There is no way somebody is coming to tell me that I'm trying my best to make your lives better. But they are bringing some bills in the house. Kupitisha vitu kama ile bill ya agriculture. Just imagine. Now I have to pay for money. My mom has to pay for money to farm. Is it making sense? Yeah. Remember, mtu akishika chakula, kwanza hii tabia Africans, ukitaka kuweka mtu kwa slave yako, mpe chakula. Ukimnyima chakula atashinda anapiga magoti. And there is a picture that trended. Remember that woman who kneeled down asking for bursaries. Watu wamesahau that it is their money. You are going to kneel down asking for your money. Yeah. It does not mean that when you give me bursary to go to school, then you are doing me a favor. It is not a favor you are doing. You have to do it, and that is the reason why you're there. Do you think that we don't have people, apart from Akina Raila, Akina Ruto, who can lead this country? They are. And right now, tunataka kuuliza wa Kenya, if we could go out, tumetoka mara mingi, just because one man anaclaim kura yake iliibiwa. Huyo kijana wetu alisema kura yake iliibiwa. Na watu walitoka barabarani, people died. Sasa saa kama nchi yetu iko pabaya, hatuwezi tokeleze. Let's be united. We have one tribe, and the name of the tribe is Kenya. Saa lazima tutokeleze, and we fight. Our voice must be heard. Must. Lazima wajue hiyo must. We are not here to pester. Hapa tulipiga kura, si ndio? Walisema ajira kwa vijana. Wakasema we help. Ukiangalia infrastructure, kwanza let me ask you a question. How affordable is the affordable houses? How affordable are they? And tell me how many Kenyans can afford to own an affordable, even a one-bedroom affordable house in Kenya today?
Yeah.
Wanajenga, alafu ni wao wanajinunulia tena, then wanaziweka rental at a very high prices. And then we are claiming that this is the government yenye inajali maslahi ya wananchi. Right now we don't have, hakuna leader, politician leader mwenye sahi anaweza kosa usingizi because anajiuliza, sasa pale mahali Philip anatoka, hao wananchi nitawasaidia aje?
Yeah.
Wanakaa na meeting, wanaweza kuwa like a friend. Siku hizi it is so painful the way they launch projects kila siku. Wamekuwa social media influencers. We don't want to see you launching. We want to see things done. It is now time for sweet actions, not sweet words.
Right. I want us to move to shift and share as we exit slowly. Speaking of projects working, if there's something that needs to work, is still the shift, share transition. Yeah, there's a story that was highlighted by one of the stations. There's part of a facility that's really deplorable. I think it's Mama Lucy.
Yeah, Mama Lucy.
Yeah, where mothers are paying. They've paid for the beds, but they're still sleeping on the floor. There's those that have very delicate diseases like diabetes. You know, instead of them being able to receive dialysis via initially, as it was with NHIF, they're unable and they have to dig deeper into their pocket. So it has rendered that docket into crisis. And then you can now put in the education sector as well. In fact, lecturers are on strike. The other day they had issued till midnight. So it's crisis on crisis. What are we going to do to make it work? But then also people who are on payroll, they were complaining this month. In fact, one of the ladies said, amejitoa kwa WhatsApp group ya kwao, hataki kuchangia tena because the contributions za SHIF na housing levy zimemquinish for this month. 2.75% of your monies is going to SHIF and SHA.
Yes.
Yeah. So how can we make it work now that we are in crisis already? Possible solutions?
There's something called illiteracy. Once I'm illiterate, I'm not in position to be a solution giver. What is affecting Kenyans? SHIF and SHA, that is a money laundering or squandering project.
You believe it's a money laundering project?
100%.
Why?
How do you say that the transition of NHIF to SHA is direct, yet when you sent me a message, because when you sent me a message telling me that Clinton, we've been able to transit you from SHIF or SHA, NHIF to SHA, and now you can be able to get the your hospital bills paid through SHA. Yet even after the same week that they said SHA is prospective and it's working out, people are still lamenting. I'm going to hospital, they're not treating me because they're saying that my SHA is not active. And where is the money that was being put in NHIF that has been transferred to SHA? So that means that, and even when you ask them, they don't have a strong basis to tell us how this thing is going to operate. The transition was an office transition, not a health security transition. And how will we be able to come up with this if, like, for example, I saw it in Tarakanini the other day. We are happy one of us is there. So the problem is, when I come from Western, I want to see Wafula in that office. So that when Wafula is there, I know I'm there indirectly.
Mtuetu syndrome.
Exactly, Mtuetu syndrome is the problem. And that is the same thing that is eating us. So we will not be in position to think widely, because our thought is, when will my tribe be represented there? At the end of the day, I come from Western. Mudavadi and Wetangula are there. What is their impact? Lusaka is there. What is their impact on the resolution of this problem that is affecting people in Western? The other day I saw that a woman is saying, when I was being given the benefit of NHIF, my daughter delivered, and she was being paid for through NHIF. You said you transited from NHIF to SHA. Today, even the facilities are not being produced, are not giving out. Mama Lucy is the biggest problem currently affecting us in Nairobi. A woman who is going to give birth gives birth on the floor.
In fact, people are saying they should return the is it the Linda Mama initiative that was for First Lady, the former First Lady.
Sure. So, I'm trying to wonder, the state is trying to let's say, squeeze as much as possible for their pockets, then give out.
They said they had a target of collection that they are looking forward to collect from SHA. So I really don't know, but let me get to you shortly, because we are at 9:04. There's time for another segment. Yesterday, while the president was addressing in the podium, one of the ladies was given a chance, and she said, "I plead with you, the friend of Raila Odinga, changing NHIF to SHA inaumiza hawa mama." That's what she said to President Ruto yesterday.
Nalisema ukweli. Saa hii tumefika wakati wanawake tunajaribu kuwapatia hiyo nguvu. It is not like back then when in Africa people used to take women as their property. Now because umepeleka ngombe 2 ama 3. Saa hii wanawake wako na hiyo sauti. Wanafaa kuzungumza na tunafaa kuwa support. Hawajafika pale mahali tunataka wafike. No. And it is true, because these women ndio wanajua the burden of giving back there. Go to Mama Lucy today, utapata mlango ya daktari iko na kashimo hivi, unadhani mtu anaweza pita through.
And have you visited KNH, Kenyatta? They lack water to flush
there's
the
another
toilet.
saga.
At KNH.
And now
but yet it's actually the main referral hospital for all county hospitals in the country.
Imagine you are going to the hospital because you are sick, even because out of malaria, and you are getting out of those premises ukiwa na like cholera because haujui nani ametumiacho. And yet tunasema umeenda kutafuta matibabu. And the government imenyamaza. Pesa ngapi zinatumika, pesa ngapi zinapotea kwa corruption. Pesa ngapi saa hii hiyo wakati walikuwa naweka Kindiki, pesa walitumia pesa, that one we have to agree. Money was used. Yet we have things that they should be considering first. Hizi mambo za sijui housing. Okay, how will you live in a better house while health yako ni mbaya, hata you won't live for 5 years? Hizo ndio vitu watu wanafaa kuangalia. Saa hii unaenda hosi. You have even the SHA, hizo vitu wanasema. And still you are paying for medicine, and pesa ina allocatiwa kwa KEMSA kununua madawa. And then you are finding the doctors, wanajiuliza, how does these doctors wanajuanga the specific nini chemist kupata the drugs? Hata wafikiri yangu wanakwambia enda kwa this chemist upate dawa ukuje nayo tukudunge.
Yeah.
If I can start my own chemist,
right,
and afford to buy those expensive medicines and sell to the people, how many taxpayers do we have in Kenya? I mean, everybody's paying tax, and yet the government can't provide us with the medicine. Hakuna haja ya launch a new hospital while the few that we have you can't even manage. It does not make sense.
Right.
It makes sense kabisa? Nona. If NHF walikuwa nasema ni wasi, wanaleta SHA, and SHA is more complicated. How sure are we that they are going to manage this? Na ile wakataza.
Yeah, and he's called it a money laundering scheme, yeah? But then also when you look at the effect of SHA deductions on people who are employed, they've broken the salary bracket from, I think, from 50,000. I remember the 50,000 one a lot, yeah? But I'll get to it in just a bit. I don't know if you guys are on payroll. Are you feeling anything? Because we saw massive outrage. People saying, hey, this time around my salary is not salarying, the math is not mathing. In fact, people are cutting down on costs because the 2.75% statutory deduction now is too much for the people who are on payroll.
Yeah, like my brother just said, ukini deduct a lot and the salary is constant. Naumia. At least salary ongeza hiyo tax yako inaeleweka. Unaona? Yeah. Because the service, kwanza the service that you are, unaona ukienda to a barber shop today,
yeah,
or a massage parlor, and they provide you with the best service, you will be free. Hata kama umelipa pesa utasema like I'm comfortable paying this amount.
Yeah.
But ni aje nalipa pesa and then the service pia si expect ndio SHA inakata, lakini the service unajua tu unaenda hosi na bado unatumwa kununua madawa.
Yeah.
Is it making sense? I make sense? And ndio maana nimetumia that example ya hiyo yenye wanajenga many hospitals while the few that we have they can't even manage them. Hiyo pesa yenye unajenga nayo hospitali, we don't want to see you because you are doing a project. Acha kwanza to feel comfortable like hiki tunafanya iko sawa, and then if you do something good people will appreciate you. Ebu jiulize wewe mtu mmoja, just a short period of time, hata wewe unaenda mahali unasikia unaongelewa vibaya, unaenda pale the same thing, you go that place the same thing, hata wewe pia utakwanga na shida, wewe ndio uko na shida. It is not as complain because it does not, venye naweza kuja kwako kuambia wewe ni mbaya, my brother pia kuambia mbaya, lazima ukae chini ujiulize ama hapa ni what and what should we do.
Okay.
We have a table, we can talk, but you are going there to talk but they don't listen, and then sahi wamekitu wanaogopa. The more thing that these politicians fear in somebody who has got information. Do you know the reason why like today they are wanatesa mtu kama huko like Morara? The other day tulikuwa attacked at Narok, tulienda Narok, and it's by God's favor that today you are seeing me here nimekaa na nyinyi. It was so worse.
Yeah.
Wanashika mtu kama huko because wanajua many people are in social media, and wakipata the information, then you will be at risk. That's the reason why they are trying to do away with it.
All right, we have to go. It's exactly 9:10. So I want you guys to share. By the way, the KCSE examinations are just begun. 950 KCSE candidates are sitting for the English and then later on the chemistry paper. So I want you guys to wish them all the best. But then I'll just like to pick very fast in 3 seconds. Trump versus Donald, versus Kamala. Who do you think is going to win? Tomorrow is the official voting day. Clinton, who do you think is winning?
I'll personally want Trump to win.
You'll personally want Trump to win?
Exactly.
But you know it's Kamala winning, yeah?
Kamala, it will be destructive even for Kenya, and you'll call me here to confirm.
I know, but I predict Kamala will win. Well, what do you want Trump? Trump should not be allowed to, rule for a second term.
It's better the devil you know than the one you don't
better
know.
The devil you know than the one. Okay.
Because the one who will come with